Most men think performance is built in the heat of the moment. But what if I told you it actually begins in the quiet hours before sleep, in the darkness, when no one is watching and your body is deciding how powerful you will feel tomorrow? The truth is that masculine vitality is not just about desire, it is about circulation, relaxation, confidence, and the subtle rituals that signal to your nervous system that you are safe, strong, and fully alive. Tonight, I want to walk you through a nighttime oil routine that is not about gimmicks or instant tricks, but about awakening your body's natural capacity for stamina, sensitivity, and deep, intimate presence. A mature understanding of male performance begins with recognizing that arousal is not purely physical. It is neurological, hormonal, and emotional, and the skin is one of the most powerful gateways into all three. When you apply warm oil to your body before bed with intention rather than haste, you are not simply moisturizing, you are stimulating nerve endings, encouraging blood flow, calming stress hormones, and building a relationship with your own touch. The modern man carries tension in his shoulders, his lower back, his hips, and especially in the pelvic floor. And that tension silently sabotages performance by restricting circulation and dulling sensation. A nightly oil ritual becomes a private reset, a signal to your body that it can soften and expand rather than brace and contract. Start by choosing an oil that feels nourishing and clean on the skin, something natural that absorbs well and carries a subtle warmth when rubbed between your palms. The temperature matters more than most men realize because warmth invites blood vessels to open, and open vessels mean better responsiveness later. Before applying it anywhere intimate, massage it slowly into your chest and abdomen, breathing deeply, allowing your breath to travel lower with each exhale. When your breathing slows, your nervous system shifts from fight or flight into rest and repair, and that shift alone can dramatically improve performance because arousal thrives in relaxation, not in anxiety. Many performance struggles are not about lack of desire, but about a mind that refuses to turn off, replaying stress from the day, worrying about expectations, silently measuring itself against impossible standards. The oil ritual interrupts that mental noise because touch anchors awareness in the present moment. As you move down toward your hips and inner thighs, use firm but unhurried strokes, not as a rush toward stimulation, but as an act of circulation training, encouraging blood to move freely through the entire region. The inner thighs are deeply connected to pelvic blood flow, and when they are tight or neglected, responsiveness decreases. With consistent nightly attention, the tissues become more supple, more oxygenated, more alive. When you finally bring oil to your most intimate area, the intention must remain calm and grounded rather than goal-driven. This is not about immediate arousal, it is about nourishment and awareness. Gentle circular motions increase sensitivity over time because the nerves adapt to regular, mindful stimulation rather than sudden intensity. Over days and weeks, this practice can heighten sensation while also improving control, because familiarity with your own responses builds confidence, and confidence reduces performance anxiety. There is also a hormonal dimension to consider. Slow self-massage before sleep can help lower cortisol, the stress hormone that interferes with testosterone and disrupts healthy erections. Better sleep follows relaxed touch, and better sleep supports stronger morning vitality. In this way, the nighttime oil routine becomes a bridge between physical care and hormonal balance. It teaches your body that intimacy is not something that happens only with a partner, but something that begins with how you inhabit yourself. Many men rush through self-touch mechanically, but when you slow down and treat it as a ritual, you create neural pathways that associate calmness with arousal rather than pressure with performance. That association changes everything because when you are later with a partner, your body remembers relaxation instead of urgency. The key is consistency, not intensity. 5 to 10 minutes each night, breathing slowly, warming the oil thoroughly in your hands, applying it with awareness, allowing sensation to build without forcing it. Over time, you may notice stronger responsiveness, longer-lasting stamina, and a deeper connection between your mind and your body. This routine is not magic, and it is not a replacement for medical care if there are serious concerns. But it is a powerful foundational habit that many men overlook because it feels too simple. Yet intimacy often grows from simple, repeated acts of care. When you close your eyes after completing this ritual, your body feels acknowledged rather than ignored, supported rather than pressured, and that subtle shift can echo into every intimate moment you experience. As this ritual becomes familiar, something subtle begins to change in the way you relate to your own desire. Instead of seeing performance as a test you must pass, you begin to experience it as a natural extension of how well you care for your body and regulate your mind. The nighttime oil routine is powerful not only because of what it does physically, but because of what it rewires psychologically. Many men unknowingly associate intimacy with pressure, with the need to prove something, to last longer, to be harder, to impress. That pressure creates tension in the very muscles that need to relax for optimal blood flow. When you repeatedly touch yourself in a calm, attentive way before sleep, you begin separating pleasure from performance anxiety. You teach your nervous system that stimulation can exist without urgency. This shift is profound because the parasympathetic nervous system, the branch responsible for rest and repair, is also deeply involved in erection quality and sustained arousal. By engaging it nightly through slow breathing and warm oil massage, you strengthen the body's ability to enter that receptive state on command. Breath becomes your anchor throughout the routine. As you massage your lower abdomen and pelvic region, draw your breath down into the belly and imagine it expanding the space behind your navel and beneath your hips. On each exhale, consciously soften the muscles at the base of the pelvis. Many men carry unconscious clenching in this area, especially if they spend long hours sitting or living under stress. That clenching restricts circulation and can reduce sensitivity over time. Gentle, mindful relaxation during your oil ritual allows those muscles to release, improving responsiveness and endurance. The oil itself plays a supporting role. Its glide reduces friction, allowing you to explore slower, more controlled movements. This slowness enhances neural awareness. When movements are rushed, the nervous system learns to spike quickly and peak rapidly. When movements are slow and measured, the nervous system learns control. Over weeks of consistent practice, you may notice that arousal builds more steadily and that you can modulate intensity rather than feeling overtaken by it. This is not about suppression, but about mastery. Control rooted in awareness is different from control rooted in tension. The former feels confident and grounded, the latter feels tight and anxious. The ritual also improves body image and self-acceptance. Looking at yourself without judgment, touching your skin with care instead of criticism, sends powerful signals to the brain. Shame is a hidden enemy of performance. When a man carries self-doubt about his body, that doubt often manifests as hesitation or premature loss of arousal. The oil routine becomes a quiet declaration that your body is worthy of attention. Over time, this can translate into more relaxed eye contact, more present touch, and a stronger emotional connection during partnered intimacy. There is also the aspect of sensory refinement. Regular massage increases blood supply to the skin and superficial tissues, enhancing sensitivity. Greater sensitivity does not mean quicker release when paired with breath control and relaxation. Instead, it means richer sensation and more nuanced awareness of pleasure. You begin to notice subtle shifts in temperature, pressure, and rhythm. That awareness makes you a more attentive lover because you are more attuned to your own sensations and therefore more capable of reading a partner's cues. When the body feels safe and nourished night after night, sleep deepens. Deep sleep supports testosterone production, tissue repair, and mental clarity. Morning energy becomes steadier. Erections upon waking may feel firmer, not because of a sudden miracle, but because you have been quietly optimizing circulation, reducing stress, and supporting hormonal balance through consistent self-care. The routine also offers a private space to check in emotionally. As you massage your body, you might notice areas that feel tight or numb. Rather than ignoring them, you can ask yourself what stress or fatigue might be stored there. Emotional tension often lodges in the hips and abdomen. By acknowledging it, breathing through it, and physically softening those areas, you create an integrated approach to intimacy that includes both mind and body. This integration is what transforms performance from a physical act into a holistic expression of vitality. Over time, partners may sense the difference even if they do not know the source. You may move more slowly, breathe more deeply, and maintain presence rather than rushing toward a goal. That presence is magnetic. It communicates confidence without words. When a man feels at home in his body, his touch becomes steadier, his pacing more intuitive, his responses more controlled. The nighttime oil routine is therefore less about the oil itself and more about the discipline of slowing down in a world that constantly urges speed. It is about reclaiming your own rhythm. The final step each night should be stillness. After massaging, place one hand over your lower abdomen and one over your chest. Close your eyes and take several slow breaths, feeling the warmth you have created. Let your body settle. This moment of stillness seals the ritual. It tells your nervous system that the day is complete and that restoration has begun. With repetition, this sequence becomes a powerful conditioning tool. Your body begins to associate evening calm with vitality and readiness. Over months of consistency, this simple nighttime oil ritual evolves from a technique into a quiet transformation of identity. You are no longer a man chasing performance. You are a man cultivating vitality. The difference is subtle but powerful. When performance is chased, it feels fragile and dependent on circumstances. When vitality is cultivated, it feels stable and self-generated. The body responds to what is repeated. If it repeatedly experiences stress, rush, and self-criticism, it learns contraction. If it repeatedly experiences warmth, breath, circulation, and calm awareness, it learns expansion. Expansion is the foundation of strong, reliable arousal and sustained stamina. The long-term effects of this routine show up in ways that are deeper than firmness alone. Your pelvic awareness becomes sharper. You begin noticing the early signs of rising intensity and can adjust with breath before reaching a point of no return. This is not suppression, but intelligent pacing. You learn to distribute sensation through the whole body rather than concentrating it in one small area. When arousal spreads through the chest, abdomen, and thighs instead of staying localized, endurance naturally increases because the nervous system is not overloaded in one place. One of the most common mistakes men make when trying to improve performance is focusing only on direct stimulation and ignoring the surrounding musculature and circulation pathways. The hips, glutes, lower back, and inner thighs are all part of the same functional system. During your nightly ritual, give equal attention to these areas. Slow, firm strokes across the hips and along the lower spine encourage blood flow and relieve compression from long hours of sitting. Gentle stretching after applying oil can further enhance mobility, allowing the pelvis to move more freely during intimacy. Another mistake is turning the ritual into a secret pressure test. If you approach it each night asking whether you are harder, bigger, or more responsive than yesterday, you recreate the same anxiety you are trying to dissolve. The purpose is nourishment, not measurement. When improvement happens, it should feel like a byproduct, not a demand. Let the ritual be about connection rather than evaluation. Over time, the psychological confidence built from this practice becomes visible in subtle behaviors. You may find that you initiate intimacy more calmly, without the internal spike of doubt. You may feel less reactive to small distractions because your nervous system has been trained to settle quickly. Partners often respond positively to this grounded energy because it feels safe and attentive. Intimacy thrives in safety. When a woman senses that you are not rushing toward a single goal, but are fully present in the experience, her body is more likely to relax and open as well. Your routine therefore influences not only your own performance, but the entire dynamic of connection. There is also a discipline aspect that strengthens self-respect. Committing to 5 or 10 minutes of mindful care each night reinforces the idea that your health and vitality matter. Discipline practiced privately builds quiet confidence publicly. You know you are doing something supportive for your body, and that knowledge reduces insecurity. The transformation becomes holistic. Better sleep leads to clearer thinking. Clearer thinking reduces stress. Reduced stress supports hormonal balance. Balanced hormones enhance desire and responsiveness. The cycle feeds itself in a positive direction. You may also notice that desire feels more steady rather than fluctuating wildly. Consistency creates stability. Instead of craving intense stimulation followed by depletion, you cultivate a steady flame. That steady flame is what allows for deeper emotional intimacy, because you are not operating from urgency. The ritual can even become a moment of gratitude. As you massage and breathe, you can mentally thank your body for carrying you through the day. Gratitude shifts perception from criticism to appreciation, and appreciation strengthens the mind-body connection. When the body feels appreciated rather than judged, it responds with cooperation instead of resistance. In partnered intimacy, this internal shift shows up as patience, creativity, and attentiveness. You are more willing to explore pacing, to linger, to build anticipation because you trust your own stamina. Trust is the ultimate outcome of this practice. Trust in your circulation, trust in your breath, trust in your ability to regulate intensity. Without trust, every intimate moment feels like a gamble. With trust, it feels like a dance you know how to lead and follow at the same time. As weeks turn into months, the ritual becomes less about oil and more about awareness. You may find that even on nights when you skip the oil, your body naturally relaxes with a few slow breaths because the pattern has been conditioned. That is when you know the transformation has taken root. The external action has rewired the internal response. In the end, the nighttime oil routine is not a secret trick hidden in a bottle. It is a commitment to slowing down, to feeling fully, to replacing pressure with presence. It is a reminder that true performance is not forced in a single moment, but cultivated quietly in the hours before sleep. When you lie down each night, having nourished your body, calmed your mind, and breathed deeply into your core, you are preparing not just for better intimacy, but for a stronger, more confident version of yourself. And that version of you does not chase performance. He embodies it.